Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Noelle with Baker's Backyard Bounty. We are a family of 4 here in Texas, living in suburbia, embracing the principles of living more sustainably and more connected to nature. For us, this includes simple like household tips and tricks, changing our habits in terms of like cleaners and using things that are more renewable versus disposable, just small things like that. But then also gardening and farming our once yard. Actually, we had a in-ground pool in the backyard, half in-ground, half below ground, above ground, whatever that is. And we took that out, put some dirt in, and for the past few years, we've been working on turning that into a little garden oasis. So really the point of this channel is to share with you our journey. We're starting kind of from basics. Neither of us are like agricultural trained people, and so we're really just a family trying to live more connected to the earth and care for the earth, keeping in mind that we are renting space, that we are visitors instead of owners of this planet. So anyways, come along with us. I'm so happy to have you here. So my husband is a firefighter, and in my past life, I was a yoga teacher and a mental health therapist. Starting in July of this year, I started staying home with my kids. I had my daughter Zoe, who is now 2.5 months old, and we have Lily, who is 20 months old. And so our kiddos are pretty young, and this is really what got us started on pursuing this lifestyle, just thinking about our values and what we want our kids to embody as we raise them and hopefully teach them how to be conscious citizens of the world. So really this year, especially with COVID, having more time at home, forced time at home, we've been able to knock some projects off the list, really talk about how we're gonna align our values in terms of raising our kids, and especially at the holiday season, talking about gifts and things and managing our inventory in our house and what it looks like to be a conscious consumer. And that's kind of what this video is about today. So this is Zozo, our Zoe girl, and she loves to be held by mama. She wanted to be in the video today. Anyways, I would like for you to consider this holiday season and how you're feeling, like if you could connect with the emotions that are coming up. So like when I was, a child, it was pure like joy and anticipation and excitement for what was to come. And I still feel some of that, especially having kids, that are entering into that phase of Santa and just the magic of the holiday. But then also I have to honor that there's also feelings of sadness and grief and longing for the way things used to be. And so what I have been trying to channel this year as I sit with some of the more difficult feelings of the holiday, especially here in 2020, is that this is an opportunity to do things different. It feels different, it is different in terms of celebrating with family and all the hoopla and the events, yada yada, the shopping. So this is a beautiful season and a beautiful time to try things differently, meaning maybe you simplify your plans, maybe you simplify your shopping list, maybe you don't shop at all, maybe you cook something different, maybe you start a new tradition. And that's really what, oh, you're feeling yourself, huh? That's really what we're focusing on this year as a family is how do we want to do it? How do we want to channel our values into this season? And instead of feeling like we're missing out on a lot of things this year, maybe we're actually giving or being given a gift of a fresh start or a clean slate, a way to start more simply. You may hear the little pitter patters of my Yorkie, my guard dog, around. He loves to be in the middle of everything. Let me see if I can like show you him real quick. Say what up, Blue Bear. Okay, good job. Nice appearance. Okay, so some of the gift ideas that we had for this year, hopefully people think they're cool. I would think they're totally rad and love it, but is we're gonna be making herb salts for like cooking. So this can sit out on your counter. It has our backyard herbs. I started an herb garden this year, which we use all the time. So backyard herbs, some salt, garlic, lemon juice, and you just put it in a food processor. So I learned this technique from the Elliott Homestead, which is a great channel to follow. And I found these cool little jars that I had in my closet that I put bath salts in at one time. We're like big on the salt. Hey, it's okay. It's all good. And I'm gonna put like fresh rosemary, some oregano, we have thyme back there, we have some sage. So just blend that puppy up with whatever herbs you have, salt, some garlic cloves, and some lemon juice, and we're gonna see how it works out. I also make a pretty killer almond, lavender, he wants to go outside, laundry detergent, and so putting those in some beautiful glass bottles for people to try. Again, like, it doesn't have to be crazy, it's thoughtful, it's handmade, it's in alignment with what we value and what we want to put out into the world, and kind of like share these, I don't know, these simple appreciations with others. So Reed and I are getting to go on a hot date to pick up some more barrels. Are you seeing those blue barrels? For our backyard rain barrels. Facebook Marketplace is the bomb. So we dropped the kids off with grandparents and we are cruising in the grandpa truck. So just a little bit of background. We have currently 3 rain catching barrels. They were previously soy sauce barrels, and we found them on Facebook Marketplace for like $15, and Reed rigged them with like a spigot and then just this little attachment from the gutter, and they fill up super fast. Like one rainstorm and we have a whole 55-gallon barrel full of water. So we use this water to water the garden, so that we don't have this huge spike in our utility bills, especially in the summer. And then we use it for watering the chickens and the animals. So it's worked out really well. We just feel like we need more, and so this will be 6 total that we have around our house, and I'll show those when we get back home. So tonight on the menu we have stuffed butternut squash. So I'm going to slice this in 2 and roast it for about 45 minutes at 400, and then add in some cooked quinoa, some of my herb salt that I'm about to make, some ground beef, some crispy sage from the garden, a little bit of shallots, and we'll just see how it turns out. I'm super stoked. So to make the herb salt that I mentioned earlier, I buy this Redmond's Real Salt. I just spilled some. I might have a leak in my bag. This Redmond's Real Salt, it's from Utah. It is amazing. I buy it in bulk at this natural grocers that we have here in town. So I'm gonna put this in my food processor along with all my herbs, just a couple of cloves of garlic, squeezing maybe half a lemon in here, and a little bit of olive oil, and just pulsing, and then adding it to a jar that I can scoop out of for really any recipe. It's super versatile. So let's see how it goes. So in buying in bulk, we're trying to decrease our use of packaging and plastics. So I'm just kind of diving into really trying to replace some staples using the bulk section, which with COVID, a lot of stores actually discontinued their bulk sections, either like temporarily or permanently. But again, the natural food store that we go to close to us still has some, and that's where I got the salt. So we just bought a whole case of these large mason jars, and you can get even bigger ones to store more. And then these plastic tops off of Amazon for mason jars. I grabbed the wrong one. It's actually, well, here's one. They have wide mouth, which we have those, and also just the regular tops, and so it screws right on. It doesn't rust. These are perfect for storing things like in the fridge or in the pantry, not for canning or preserving, but for what we use them for, bulk storage. They're amazing. So I highly suggest finding some of these plastic tops. So this smells incredible. It's all pureed together, all chopped up. So one thing is, when you have the lemon juice and the olive oil, it makes the salt kind of wet. So what I'm going to do is put it on this cooking sheet and just leave it out overnight, or really like maybe 2 nights, just until it's all dry, because that way I can store it in my little jar for just scooping out for individual recipes. I'm gonna use a little bit of this tonight just to sprinkle on the stuffed squash, but in terms of storage, you want it to dry out. Okay, so what I have going now is the stuffing. So I made the quinoa, and it is just kind of sauteing in this pan, along with some sage, some mushrooms, some Bragg's liquid aminos, which is kind of like soy sauce. It's a saltier taste. Pumpkin seeds. What else did I put in there? Oh, and a chopped up shallot. So all that'll come together. Add some ground beef and pop it in the squash, the butternut squash, and then have that roast in the oven just for like 5-10 minutes. And voila, we done. So one of the most amazing things about the colder weather is that it is green season. You can hear my sweet baby in the background. So check it out. This is just took like a couple of minutes, and we have a beautiful array of kale and baby spinach, baby arugula. It's the bomb. This is the way to eat, people. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. May you find the bounty in your own life. Have a great night, and until next time.